So from the time as such, you begin to put the sickle to the corn. And thou shalt keep, Deuteronomy 16:10, the Feast of Weeks, unto Jehovah your Elohim with the tribute of a free will offering of thine hand. Now the beauty of this is that you get to determine what it is that you're going to do. You can do little, you can do a lot. This is where Paul was saying, he who sows bountifully reaps bountifully. He who sows sparingly reaps sparingly. Now, when I was a Baptist and a Baptist, a Pentecostal, a Reformed, a Lutheran, a Independent, and I would look at Malachi 3, where it says, you have robbed me in tithe and offerings, is how do you rob Jehovah of an offering? See, he wasn't just saying rob him of tithe. He says, you've robbed me of tithe and offerings. How do you rob Jehovah of an offering? When it's in your power to give it. You determine, here's the thing, you determine what you give, but you don't determine whether you give. This is why he says, and I can imagine that there were people coming up to the feast empty-handed. They come up and bring nothing. Or what they bring, they consume on themselves. When he says, the orphans, the widows, the poor. Now, the reason why a person is poor, listen to me, been there, done that. A person is poor because they have mismanaged the resources they've been given. When Jehovah delivered the children of Israel out of Egypt, he gave everybody their own land. Everybody had a land. As a matter of fact, he says 7 years, if a person now comes into servitude, in 7 years you forgive the debt. 50 years, if for whatever reason they fall on destitute times and they have to sell their property, in 50 years, everybody's property returned to its original owner. Every person had their own property. How is it that some people work their land and prosper and some people don't prosper, even to the point of losing their land? I'll tell you how. Proverbs came up and says, a little sleep, a little slumber. I don't feel like going to work today. I think I'll call in sick. I don't feel like it. I'm tired. You weren't too tired last night when you were shaking your booty out all night at the bar. But now you've done your thing, and now you want to sleep in. Oh, I'm sick. You're not sick. Why are you calling in sick if you're not sick? Why would you confess sickness and you're not sick and give place to sickness to come into your life? If you're going to call in and tell them you're not coming in, tell them, hey, I'm not coming in today. Well, why aren't you not coming in today? Because I don't feel like it. Now you got to lie. And worse than that, you're confessing something whereby you are now giving place to the enemy to bring the very thing on you that you're confessing. I was having this conversation with the Almighty this morning. I'm walking through the house, and my wife is looking at me like, she probably used to this stuff now. Because sometimes I'm talking to myself, and I don't realize I'm talking out loud, but I'm having a conversation. And when I think about it and I take a moment to hear myself, you're talking out loud. And she's looking at me. And I'm having this conversation with the Almighty, with myself, because obviously couldn't see him, so I'm talking to myself. But I wasn't talking to myself. I'm having a conversation about the power of words. And now it's making sense. You see, our words have power. If you spent your words like you spent your money, well, some of us need to learn how to spend our money better. And the first way, the way you learn how to spend your money better is you realize it not yours. Because you're going to have to give an account for it. So, when I learn how to manage my resources, I realize that my words are the most powerful resource that I have. My word is more powerful than my bank account. Your words are more powerful than your resources, than your physical possessions. Because you can speak to things. You can command things. You can pray. You can commune with the Almighty. You can change your environment. Yeshua says if you speak to that mountain, you speak to that tree and not doubt. When you say, Satan, get behind me, when you say, devil, come out, when you say, be healed in the name of Yeshua and not doubt. When you begin to walk in faith, everything in the earth manifests from the word of Jehovah. When he said, let there be light, light appeared. And we are made in the image and likeness of Jehovah. And so the words of our mouths, death and life is in there. Death and life is in the power of the tongue. And those who love death will eat the fruit of death. Those who love life will eat the fruit of life. And the way you know what you love is what you say with your mouth. If you are complaining all the time, you are a complainer. If you're murmuring all the time, you're a murmurer. If you're always down, always doubting, always confessing negativity, you're a negative person. And the things that you speak says who you are. And when you speak faith and you walk in faith, you begin to see the power of heaven transforming to your very words. That's why I don't confess I'm sick. You'll never hear those words come out of my mouth. I can look as sick as the sickest person on earth, and somebody come along and say, you sick? Nope. Not coming in agreement with that. I'm in a battle. Sickness is trying to come, and it's not welcomed here. And therefore, it will not take resident here. The only way it can take resident here is I open the door when it knocks and let it come in and sit at the table and sup with me. Now I'm communing with sickness instead of communing with the Almighty. When sickness knocked at my door, by his stripes, I was healed. Well, you don't look healed, brother. I don't walk by sight. Your words are powerful. And some of us have allowed and said and spoke things over our lives, and now we're eating the fruit of it. And we need to repent.
For more information, visit www.arthurbaileyministries.com or call 888-899-1479. This program is made possible through financial contributions from viewers like you. Thank you.